There it is. There it is. Welcome back, cousins.
Yes.
Bruce Hill, your co-host for the Business Cousins podcast, where we mix family and business. What's going
Yeah.
on, cousin?
Hey, y'all. Hey, cousin. Tasha C. Ware, HLS Collective. And I'm so happy to be doing Business Cousins podcast with one of my first cousins. Like, it was me, then it was him born. We are here.
I love it. Yeah, we definitely, live by example. I got
Yes.
to shout out to you. You come up with some really great topics because we wanted to create a podcast that was actually interesting to listen to, was useful to listen to. There's lots
Mm-hmm.
of entertainment out there. We're trying to help people grow and grow their business. So you said your circle might be holding you back. I was like,
Yes.
oh, man.
Yeah, we finally made it to that point.
What what made you? What popped into your head where this was like selected?
Well, everyone supporting you isn't actually supporting your growth.
Oh,
You know?
where's I got my sound effects? I'm gonna get better at the sound effects.
Yes.
So everybody
Yeah.
supporting you is not supporting your growth. That's good.
hmm
And
You
so,
know,
oh no, go ahead. Finish your thought. Finish your thought.
so some people are rooting for you as long as you don't outgrow them.
Hmm. I want to give a special shout out. Congratulations, you just became an unofficial sponsor. Andre C. Hatchett, leadership and accountability coach for high performing leaders and notary business owner. He's really big on leaving your hometown. He says everyone should
Uh,
leave their hometown for at least 1 year.
okay.
Have you heard that advice before?
I have not, but I personally can agree from leaving the DC area, which is,
Hmm.
it's vibrant. There's Black professionals here. It's an amazing
Hmm.
place to grow. But then leaving and going to New York.
Hmm.
And I lived in New York twice. In my teen years, I lived with a host family. And I lived through college and professional years, so about 7, 8 years. You get to take what you have learned from your hometown and just be yourself
Hmm.
and learn from people. I mean, my friends were from everywhere from Hawaii to Colorado to Trinidad. And I think that it just gave me some life experience that I wouldn't have had, that I've seen some of my friends that have never left the area. They just that last tinge of learning who you really are and
Ooh.
what you really stand on.
Hmm.
You know.
Man, that's good. Because I grew up in Ohio. Shout out
Okay.
Dayton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good on 937, home of funk music. So
Well, the whole
I
movie
thought,
music.
listen, we could talk Ohio players. We could talk about Bootsy Collins.
Oh,
We could talk about Lakeside. Don't get me started.
okay. Yes, bring
Funk
it.
music. That's the home, sweet
Folk
home.
music.
Not, oh yeah, not folk. Funk.
That's what I was
Sorry.
like.
I've been
Oh,
in Georgia too long, a little country. I thought because it was Ohio, you had to get out of Ohio. Like,
mm,
right, there's nothing happening in Ohio. Shout out to some amazing entrepreneurs in Ohio.
mm,
But what you said was really key. Growing up in DC, black professionals everywhere, excellence, history happens there, but leaving was still valuable to you.
oh
And
yes.
so that's where, no matter where you are, I encourage everyone to leave at least 1 year from where, if you live in Atlanta, leave Atlanta. You're in
Mm-hmm.
LA, New York, get out just for a year. You can go back. There's something that happens to you because you really look at your circle from the outside in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I like what you said, what are you really about?
Yeah, like were you really standing on business? Or that was what I realized when I got here, and I grew up in PG County, Maryland, not in
Hmm.
DC proper, though I was born in DC proper. But when I got there, they were like, "Oh, you from DC?" Like they turned it into a thing. Like, "Oh, is that what I represent?" They also called me Little Country when I lived with when I
Really?
first moved. Yeah, they thought I sounded country, and I'm like, "But I'm not even from Baltimore. I'm from DC."
Yeah,
So it was interesting to see everyone's what music they were listening to, because I listened to go go. They were like,
sure.
"What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't you worry about it.
They
Let
don't
me
know
get
about that mumble sauce, cuz.
yeah, let me get you hip. Let me get you with some little spice in your life."
So shout out to everyone from the East Coast. If you grew up in DC, Baltimore area, tap in, leave us a comment so we can shout you out.
Yeah.
It's different out there. I think a big thing for me was a new vision of what's possible.
Okay.
And so there's no shade to the people you grew up with, the people I grew up with. I love y'all. Shout out to 937. Um, but there's so many things I didn't know I didn't know.
Mm.
What were some things, life or business, that away from home that you uncovered that you might not have if you had stayed put?
I think I was blessed to see work ethic both ways.
Hmm.
Because here people are go getters. I didn't have that where I needed to see what was possible. I mean, I thought I might have been an astronaut. I didn't have that. So I think I think what I learned was more about it was less superficiality
Hmm.
in the DC area at that time in the 90s. People were really into what you look like, what Jordans you have on, and X,
Sure.
Y, Z. But then going to New York, where everyone dressed so different, everyone came from so many different places, it kind of stripped away that part and took away the superficial of spending money on like superficial clothes and things like that. So
Hmm.
I think in business has helped me because I don't lean into that at all. Like,
Yeah.
take me
You definitely have a different approach to, I know a lot of fitness folks, I know a few, but
Mhm.
it's usually body, and then a few of them, the better ones, are diet. But you say, hey, I want your whole health.
Yes, because coming from the dance world where most clients I encounter will never be able to do what me and my friends were doing at Alvin Ailey or what
Sure.
they did as a ballerina or the athletes I know, like my husband. That's not what they come to me for. And I don't want them to try to live up to some unattainable body standard, whether it's looking at me or looking at augmented people on the internet. I just
Hmm.
want them to be the best person that they can be because that's
Hmm.
what's sustainable and that's what's going to give longevity.
Oh, let's laugh it up. Best version of yourself. And so that was probably my longest running business, is New Skills with You. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the same principle. That's why we're here right now. Is I'm not trying to turn you into a version of me. I want you to be the best version of you. Um, that's so simple. But when you stay in your hometown, you end up in a routine. You end up in a cycle, and you're either going in a circle, or you're in a downward spiral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you just happen to be a friend group of runners and athletes, you end up going to the same BW3s, having the same order of wings, having the same beers, uh,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the same booth, and you look up 20 years later, you've broken overweight, and you never did write that book, and you never did start that business, you never did go back to school. And that's, if you have a group that pushes you to be better, hold on.
Yeah, I think that happened too when I left. I made friends that challenged me.
That's the magic word right there.
You know, whereas here, like you said, I was big fish, small pond a little bit.
Hmm.
So going to New York, I was like, oh, I am actually behind. Like my friend showed up 16 as a freshman
Yeah.
and was killing it. I'm like, wait a minute, like what
I
is?
had that moment in Atlanta. A good friend of mine was mad. She was so mad. I'm like, yo, what's going on? I was wanted to fight somebody. She was like, damn it, Bruce. I just did my taxes. Made $980,000 last year.
Oh, and she was mad.
And I was like, all right, I'm waiting for
To
the
Mac
bad
her.
news. She was like, if I had been paying closer attention, I could have made another 20.
Oh.
She's like, that's not happening again. I'm doing a million. And I was like, what? And the next year she did 1.4.
See,
Receipts too. Like, I was like, oh, snap,
I'm
it's official.
sure. I mean, and that's some energy alignment right there, though.
That's, I might have to text her after this. Like, yo, we were talking about you today.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what happens when you change your circle. You get some discernment, and you get some like aha moment
Hmm.
that you didn't know you needed. Another time when I came home during the summer, I worked at the Department of State, worked at State Department, and worked that summer. Worked the desk job, the thing you go get your good government job, XYZ. And I told my mom the next summer, I said, if I do this again, I'm gonna end up fat and stupid, Mom.
Damn. Hey. Yeah.
Yes, yes, to Jacqueline Hill. I said those
But
words.
auntie don't play. What did she say?
She said, okay. She said, okay. And then,
Shout out to supportive parents.
yeah. She understood I needed to be in dance class. I needed to be taking class so that I can become the professional I need to become. I wasn't learning. She knows I love to read and I love to learn. So it wasn't for lack of trying to, learn a new skill, change. The culture was not what I expected. It was a lot
Mhm.
going on. So that is I took from that as well. Sometimes you have to stand on that side too, where like this is just not for me.
But if you hadn't got to New York, you might not have had that perspective. It sounds like
Exactly. I almost ended up on Ohio. That's what you don't know. I almost I got a full scholarship there. My mom, she tried to drop me off. I said, "You leave me here, I'll be home in a month."
What's no? You ain't gotta tell nobody. That's funny. How maybe who I am, but I tell everybody, go ahead and explore the world. So here's something else I don't want to gloss over. You said if I stay in this environment, I'm gonna end up fat and stupid.
Mhm.
You are going to become amalgamation of the people you spend the most time with. You're going to become like the people you spend the most time with. If you get into a pool of water, you're not going to raise the temperature of the water. You're going to end up getting cold, right?
Exactly. And that's what I saw. They were killing time day by day and eating everything day by day. No mental acuity improving. And it was like time was just going by and they were in it. They were in the muck of it. And I'm sure there's tons of government workers I know, including my mother, who worked really hard. It just happened to be the office. But that office.
Everybody else, we love y'all. Thank you for the service you do for our country, for our state, and our county. But those folks.
That's a whole nother podcast I'd have to talk about.
Well, that's what I try to tell my friends, and I go back very rarely. I'm like, I'm not telling you all to start a business. I'm not telling you all that you need to quit your job and go travel the world as an influencer. All I'm saying is, are you getting better?
Yeah.
And you're not. It's some of the same complaints. Every time I talk to them, I go in 2026. I mean, what's going on? You know, man, just trying to make $1 out of 50 cents. Man, I'm just trying to make $1 out of 50 cents.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. And when are you gonna make some money?
When you gonna make some money? When you gonna do things? So what is when you do change your circle? What does support feel like to you?
I really like when you stay where you grow up. You end up with the people that were around you. That's who you went to high school with. That's what you went to college with, or that's who your cousin's family was. But when you go to a new city, you have an opportunity to choose who you hang around, and that's a really beautiful position to be in, because again, if you hang around those people long enough, that's where you're going to end up. So I decided I'm going to hang out with people who own businesses. That's what Bruce wanted to do. You want to get in shape, hang out with athletes. I used to work out this Crunch Fitness, and I didn't realize when I signed up, but professionals, bodybuilders, and then what's the ones, the aesthetic?
Like bikini competitors.
They worked out in there. I was in the best shape because everybody else around me was lifting heavy. And it was there for 3-4 hours. Anyway, so you can choose who you want to hang around with. I decided to hang around business owners. And so Atlanta's really easy to find entrepreneurs that look like me and that are doing some great things to make the world a better place. They pay their employees well. And we're having different conversations. And I was like, man, this is wonderful. So I think that's the big thing for me, was choosing to be around folks. And so now I'm having conversations with the state of Georgia, and I'm working on a project for Microsoft. I need them to approve it. That's going to be litty. And it's because I saw my friends do it. I said, oh, it's possible. It changed how I approach things, and it changed my level of confidence. And I'd do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, when I got to New York, it was seeing how consistent they were. Like my friend, we went outside every weekend, but Monday through Friday we did not miss a class. I said, oh, we had the same temperament. Our parents, both of our mothers said, you don't have to work. I said, oh, but I'm gonna go to class. And I had friends that were missing class. I'm like, this is an expensive missed class. Like, this is not high school. But that consistency paid off. Like the dancer I started off at the beginning is not who I was when I left. And just having that tenacity that took me through the rest of my life to say, oh, all I have to do is get a certification. Oh, that takes less time than it took to become a professional dancer. I can do that. And so definitely having friends that were consistently working towards something that was a little further out in the future.
Yeah.
It wasn't instant gratification.
That's about goals. I think that's a big thing with what I said earlier, right? We're just going around in a circle, same restaurant, same booth, same order every weekend. There's no goal. And that's the same reason. That's it. That's why you didn't like that office you were in. They didn't have any goals.
That's exactly. You know what? That's it. And that's what's going. That's what happens presently in business when I hire people or cousins or work with other friends. Is your goal doesn't have to be my goal, but what is your goal? And when you're indecisive and you keep moving the goalpost, not even forward but left and right, that doesn't feel like the right environment.
Well, you never make any progress. If you take a step forward and a step left and a step back and a step right, you just went in a circle.
Yeah.
You keep changing. Yeah, if you keep moving the goalposts, then you end up upsetting yourself. And you say, "Oh, that's why I can't get in shape. It's genetic. Oh, I can't make any money. The economy's bad. Oh, entrepreneurship just won't ready." You keep quitting. You keep giving up. And when you have friends, again, shout out to Andre. Actually, happy birthday, my guy. His birthday was last week. He'll call me, and if I complain, he'll hang up on me. Sorry. His call dropped. He'll ask me, he's like, "What did you do this week?" He's like, "Oh, I'm planning on." He's like, "No, what did you do?" When you have friends like that, shout out to my friend Sonia Lewis. If you call her talking about, it's just not enough money to, she'll be like, we don't have broke conversations. We have solution conversations. She'll hang up too. And shout out to Sonia Lewis, the student loan doctor. Hey, listen, if y'all struggling with your student loans, look up the student loan doctor. She'll get you straight. When you have friends like that, you call with solutions, you call with positivity, and say, "What have you been up to, man?" I did a pitch to the Georgia Pest Control Association this week. Okay, how'd that go? What's the follow-up plan? And they push you to be better and push you to grow. Again, that's what I want for my life. You don't want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be an artist, go hang out with artists. If you want to be really good at pickleball, go hang out with people that play pickleball. And what I learned is the more time you spend doing something you love and go towards your goal, the less time you spend doing self-destructive things.
For sure.
I'm not gonna have another beer. I got to get up tomorrow. It's pickleball practice, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it is in wellness too. If your circle doesn't help influence good habits and things that you want to change, and every time you go out, they don't skip a drink, they don't drink the water, don't get
me started on the what. Look, I just finished.
Very good. Good. You hanging out with the right people.
That's what happens. I stretched yesterday. Oh, I got to stretch today, right? Because I heard you in my ear. Like, okay, stay in motion.
Yes, stay in
motion. That's the advice. So listen, if you can't leave your hometown for whatever reason, like one of my best friends, he's got two wonderful twins, or two kids, one set of twins, right? He wants them to stay close to their mom. I respect that. But I'll tell you the same thing I tell him. How did you get better today? How's your circle challenge you to get better? That's it. That's the life advice for you. It's not business advice, it's life advice. So if your circle is holding you back, change your circle. We're giving you permission.
Yes. And if you can't leave your hometown, change your circle. There are still other circles to be had.
That's it. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to the Business Cousins podcast, where we mix family and business and help you get better in every way. We'll talk to y'all next week.
See you next week.